Welcome to Transformations, interviewing people changing our world. I'm your host, Diane J. Shaver, and as you've noticed by now, everyone I interview is so different one from the other, but what they all have in common is a passion and a commitment to make this a better world. And so far, the youngest person I've interviewed has been Jamie Margolin, who's 17, and the founder of Zero Hour. But today we're going to break that record and want to show that no matter what the age, every person has the power to create anything they want. So at 13, this young woman is an experienced model, actress, entrepreneur, owns several businesses. She's an author. And the impetus for this is not somebody pushing her. At 4 years old, she asked her mother, could she write a book and have a lemonade stand? So this is all coming from her. And she has so many accomplishments at this young age, but I want her to tell her story to you. So please meet this amazing young woman, Saniya Symone. Welcome, Saniya. It's so good to have you here.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. So, I mean, I went through all of the things written about you. There was so much, but I noticed you and your friend Cameron came up with the idea of Cam and Naya's Children's Empowerment Network. What is that?
Yes.
What were the goals?
Okay, so the Cam and I Youth Empowerment Network is where my friend Cameron and I, we talk at different expos, different events, schools, and we talk to kids about self-esteem, accomplishing goals, and different things like that. So we've been doing that since about 2015-ish, and we just want everybody to know that they can do anything they put their mind to and that they can start accomplishing their goals at a young age.
Oh. So what do you notice? How do the young people respond to that? Do they come up to you and say, yes, I want to do this? Or do they think that they can't do it even though you have?
Yes, it's a mixture of both. I think we do inspire a lot of the children that we meet, and they always tell us different ideas that they have now and if we can help them start.
Okay. So do you help people start businesses?
I help them, well, I tell them my story and my journey, and I kind of let them fill it in from there, I guess you would say. I always explain how I got started, and sometimes they ask me questions like time management and goal setting and things like that, and I'm always available to answer those questions.
You're a smart girl because you can't do it for anybody else. You're really smart about that. So tell me your story. I mean, from 4-year-old and the cookbook, how did you get to where you are now? What was that journey?
So it started off when I was 3 years old, 3-ish, 4-ish. I started acting and modeling, and then I asked my mom if she could help me make a lemonade stand. And every week I would ask her to do something different. So she really didn't believe that that's something that I actually wanted to do. So once I started proving to her that this is something that I actually like, then we started the Cam and I Youth Empowerment Network. And then we started writing our book and illustrating our pictures. And yeah.
Wow, that's so amazing to me. And one of the things that I noticed, I interviewed a woman, you may not have heard of her, but her name is getting out there. Her name is Cleo Scott Brown, and she has a business called History Matters Institute. And the reason she's doing it is that the history books do not reflect what went on in this country and what has happened in terms of inequality. So I noticed that you and Cam have things also that support young women of color. Can you talk about that, why it's important and what the focus is?
Well, we've talked at a lot of expos that has been like the main goal or the main target talking about. We always try to make it clear that you don't have to be sitting at the table, you can make your own table. So we try to tell everyone that even though you want to start setting your goals, there are going to be times where you won't be able to. So try to, I guess, push through and try to make it your own, because no one can be you.
Yeah, no, it's very good. And it's true. I mean, we make our life what it is. I mean, that is obviously the message you're giving, and that's the power that we each have. So with everything that's going on in our world right now, how does that impact people your age, and does it?
I feel that it does impact us. Even if kids say that they don't care, that they don't watch the news, we all are impacted by what is going around us. And I think it sometimes definitely scares us, especially with certain cultures, I guess you could say the separation and things like that. Yeah, I think it does impact us.
Yeah. Do you guys talk about it? How do you deal with that? I'm just curious.
I talk about it with my mom a lot. We watch the news every morning, me and my family. So it's definitely a huge topic.
Oh, and the climate change, I would assume, was in there as well.
Yes.
So you've noticed like people like Greta Thunberg from Sweden and so forth. I mean, she's 16, she's older than you, but not by much. So you guys are out there, and we need all of you because you are creating the future. So I want listeners to know that in addition to this awareness and the network and the cookbook, and also you have Symone Stones, a jewelry line, and Iconic Legends, a clothing line. So talk about those, how those came to be and what they are and what's the goal with these.
Okay, so Symone Stones was something that I actually started, but I didn't know that I started. For Thanksgiving and Christmas, I would always get these bead kits, and I would make bracelets for my teachers, my family and friends for their birthdays. And so then I realized that I actually could be selling these because it was something very similar to what I made in a store. So I was like, wow, this can really sell, and it's something that I enjoy doing. So I wanted to find a way to make my things unique. So I started incorporating positive affirmations, positive words, just to keep you going through the day. And with Iconic Legends, I always understand how I feel when I get a new shirt or some new clothes, and I really enjoy like the new look, I guess. So I like to put inspirational quotes and sayings on my clothing so that other people can get that feeling and they can feel comfortable in their skin.
Wow. So how old are these companies? Have you had them a while?
So Symone Stones, I started around 2015-ish. I was still making bracelets before, but I wasn't exactly selling them until 2015.
Right.
And then Iconic Legends was established in 2018.
Wow. That it still knocks me out. Do you realize how many people that are your mom's age, my age, all the ages in between that are saying one day I'd like to do something and they never do it? So you have
Yeah.
made them understand that they can. So anyway, you've received a lot of awards such as Kidpreneur of the Year,
Yes.
Protein, Miss Ultimate Beauty of America, Black Girls Lead cohort, at Columbia University. How do you keep your head on straight with everybody praising you and telling you what an incredible job you're doing? I mean, that's a lot. It really is hard.
Yes, it is. I love knowing that my work doesn't go unrecognized. It
Right.
is fun what I do. I love it with all of my heart. Sometimes it can be tiring, but I really enjoy it.
Okay, but what is it like when people tell you how wonderful you are all the time? Because that happens to celebrities a lot, and it's hard for them to stay like grounded. So what do you do?
It definitely warms my heart. I don't think I have a problem with staying grounded. I'm pretty humble. I guess yeah, yeah.
My impression of you as I talk to you is you got it. You are very grounded, and I
Thank you.
feel like what you're doing is you're so focused on what you're doing and the outcome of that it doesn't get into ego and that sort of thing. So I think that's pretty amazing. So what do you think about kids now with social media? Do you think that they're getting lost in that? How, because obviously you're not, because you couldn't accomplish everything you're doing if you were just focused on that. So the kids that you meet, how are they dealing with the social media stuff and the focus of life for them?
So technology is something that is very common in this day and age with all age groups, and I think it definitely affects any age. This is something more new to, I guess you could say, older people. So I guess it's hard to explain. I do think that we at sometimes get lost in the likes and things like that. But I think if you're using it the proper way, using it for your brand, your future, and if you're just having fun, then make sure you're doing it appropriately. I think it'll all be okay.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. And it is, it's a different world because even your mom, who is younger than me, we didn't grow up with that kind of thing. It is something that you're growing up with. So for you, it's just natural. For us, it's something that we look at from the outside.
Yeah.
We had said that the first thing you did was the cookbook. Talk to us about the cookbook, what it is. And you were 3 or 4 when you did that?
No, we were 9 and 10 years old.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so old. Okay, I got it. Okay.
So our cookbook is called Cooking in Style, and we have stories to go along with our recipes. Our recipes vary from breakfast, snacks, lunch, dinner, desserts, anything you can imagine. And it's just a lot of recipes that we enjoy eating at home for our birthdays, holidays, different things like that. We also illustrated all of the pictures. We had a photo shoot for the book, and it was so much fun. In the book, you can see like we poured flour on each other. It was just such a fun experience.
I love it. I love it. So are you doing other books as well?
Yes, I actually am working on my second book, which should be published very soon.
Okay. So you do books, you have to train in order to learn. I looked at everything that was written about you, and you train in order to know how to do interviews and everything. And you go to school, you travel. Do you sleep?
I do sleep. I was thinking, what, 3, 4 hours ago? Yes.
So are you out of the country now?
Yes, I'm actually in Cabo, Mexico.
Okay, because I know your mom said you were going. So literally, how is your day divided up? Because there is so much. How do you accomplish it all?
I actually have a calendar on my phone. I use it as a planner, but it's really just different alarms that go off during the day. Especially during weekdays, I have to incorporate homework, sometimes exercising, eating, because I love to eat. So I have to watch what I'm doing during the day, working, different things like that.
Wow. That's just amazing to me that you fit it all in. I love it. So, what do you think is the most important thing for people to take away from the work that you do?
So I think the most important thing that people should take away is that I'm young. And since I'm young, I think that any age group can do it. There are people younger than me, older than me that are doing more and less or equivalent to what I am doing. So I just want everybody to know that they can do it too, start accomplishing their goals, and they can really just, if they put their mind to it, they can do it.
I love it. So how do you manage your businesses? Do you have somebody who is a manager? And because everything has to be stocked, there has to be publicity,
Yes.
funds coming in have to be funneled into whatever you're doing. So how do you manage all of that?
So my mom does a lot of it. I can give her that credit. She really, well, with all my interviews, she makes sure that I'm on time, that I'm wearing appropriate clothes, that I know what I'm talking about, especially with different appearances. So she's really that person. I do design my clothing and jewelry, and I come up with the ideas, but she really puts it into action most of the time.
And she's your business manager, obviously.
Yes.
I love
She's
her.
my CFO.
She is your CFO. This is true. And you got a good one, obviously. This is
Thank you.
yeah. So what is your vision for your life? I mean, you're so young now, but we all have a vision. What do you see yourself doing? How do you see these businesses evolving? And are things going to change? I mean, are you going to change what you're doing? What do you see?
So I definitely want to expand everything that I'm doing. At a young age, my mom told me that millionaires have multiple streams of income. So this is one way that I decided to be a, I guess you could say, positive millionaire. Eventually, I would like to go to law school. I want to become a criminal justice attorney and a film director.
Wow, I love that. This is really good. But your mom is right about the multiple strings, and you're well on your way to all of that.
Thank you.
Oh, it's really clear. And the thing that I notice about you, and many things, but the poise that you have. So it feels almost like this is easy for you. Would you say? I mean, it doesn't mean you don't put in your time, but it feels like there is ease in it for you. Do you think there is?
I do think it is easier for me than it is for a lot of other individuals. A lot of the things that I'm doing, it comes naturally, and it's not,
Yeah.
excuse me, it's not really forced. So at times it is very difficult, but I think I have it way easier.
Yeah, it just feels natural. It doesn't feel like somebody pushed you into doing something or any of that stuff. So what do you see for yourself in 2020? Because it's going to be a big year, no matter what's going on. So do you have a vision for each year? How do you look at your business and yourself?
So for 2020, I definitely plan to have my book launched. I plan to definitely put more effort into my businesses. Not that I'm not putting enough effort, but I definitely want them to expand. So I think for that to happen, I would need to incorporate more time for them.
Yeah.
2020, January, I plan to start my vision board. Well, December of this year, I would like to start my vision board. So I think at that point, I will definitely have a clear outline of my goals for the year.
Okay. So have you done a vision board before?
Yes, I actually do them every single year.
Smart girl, smart girl. How did you know to do all that stuff? Is this from mom, or is this stuff that you just picked up?
So the vision board thing was definitely from my mom. I think when we've always done them, but I think my first, like my own one was when I was, I think 6 or 7-ish. We had a vision board party at our house. So all of our cousins and sisters and everybody, they came over and we started mapping out our goals for that year, 5 years, and 10 years.
Wow, I love it because it really pays off. I mean, the vision part is really clear. So tell me a little bit about your business partner, Cameron, how you met and how you decided to work together.
Okay, so Cameron and I, we met when we were, I guess, born. Our parents went to high school and college together, and then our birthdays are a year and a day apart. So my birthday is June 14th, 2006, and her birthday is June 15th, 2005. So we've always, I guess, celebrated together really everything, and we had some of the same desires, so that's how we really got started together.
Oh, so you work on, which projects do you work on together?
So the Cam and I Youth Empowerment Network is both of us. She also has her own businesses, and I have my own individual businesses as well.
Okay. So not to, she's not here, but I'm just curious, what are her businesses? Are they like yours?
Yeah, she has an apparel line. It's called Cam Couture. It's traveling, blogging, and different things like that.
Oh, okay. So do you have a blog?
No, ma'am, I don't.
Do you have a podcast?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I mean, I can see those happening for you down the line, probably
Thank you.
not too much longer, but yeah. So what else would you like to add into your busy schedule? What do you think that you would like to be doing that you're not doing now?
At this point, I don't have anything else that I would like to add. I'm pretty booked right now, so when things die down, I think I'll probably start some more endeavors.
I love it. So do you have time to play? And if so, what do you do for just having fun?
So yes, I do have time for play. In my eyes, I'm kind of like a typical teen. I go to the mall. I love shopping. I just love it so much. Eating is like one of my biggest hobbies. I can eat all day, especially seafood. I love seafood so much. I go to parties. That's really, I love to skate. I love to skate and traveling.
Cool. So where have you traveled so far?
So I've been to Paris, London. Right now I'm in Cabo, Mexico. I've been a lot of places in Texas, California, Dallas, Oklahoma, Georgia, pretty much a lot.
Everywhere, everywhere. So what do you do on your travels?
um, I like to do touristy things. I love to see where the commoners actually live, try new foods because every state or really every place has their own traditional food. So I love to taste
I love it. It sounds good. What's your favorite food? I just have to ask you because I'm a foodie too. I just need to know.
them. My favorite food is crawfish.
Oh, okay. That's pretty interesting. All right. All
It's
right.
something very, very common in the South. So I love crawfish season.
I'm in Charleston, South Carolina, but
Oh.
Charleston is not like other southern cities. It's a little bit different. So we might have different kinds of food, but that's really interesting. So have you thought about colleges you'd like to go to? Are you going to go to early admission? What are you going to do about that?
I definitely do want to go to college. I think I'll just go after senior year. I think I want to actually do all of my high school years. I have some friends that want to graduate early, but that's just not my interest.
Yeah.
I want to go to Howard University, and I would like to be in their law program.
I love that because that is such an established university and such a powerful place to be. So it's like you're doing all the right things. Is there anything in life that gives you trouble? I mean, not that I'm looking for that for you. I don't mean that, but it just seems to flow, and there's no reason why it can't be like that. But I have not encountered that before.
Not anything off the top of my head. I mean, I do have like times that I struggle, but I can't really think of something that I just like really, really struggle with.
There's no point to that happening, and I'm happy for you. I think what you're illustrating is what life can be, not just the success of businesses, but the flow and the not questioning. If you want to do something, you just do it. That to me, that's more powerful than any of the businesses or any law degree or anything that you have to teach people. And I think there's so many people that don't get that. Do you also speak to adult audiences, or is it mostly kids?
I do, and I have before. I speak to really any age group.
Okay.
Usually when I go to events, they give us the theme of the event, and I try to match my topic with something of that nature. So yes, I do speak to all age groups.
I love that. So what are some of the topics?
A lot of times we've talked about self-esteem. My last workshop was about adjusting your crown and helping your sisters. I talk about entrepreneurship, goal setting, time management. Yeah.
Okay. So walk me through one of your workshops. How do you do them? Do you have other people with you doing them, or is it just you? Do you set up exercises? How do you do them?
Okay, so for my last workshop, my topic was adjusting your crown. And so I really told them, like, I guess my life story and my journey of how I got into the industry. And then I asked them a few questions about some things that they wanted to do in the near future. And then we did an exercise. I actually can't remember what our first exercise was, but I remember we did that. And then we came back as a group and we talked about like how that worked, and then we went off to another exercise, and it was just examples of things that can really help you in really any industry that you want to be in.
Cool. So how did you get started in all of that?
So once I told my mom what I really was interested in, and I showed her that it wasn't just a phase, she helped me do vision boards. I wrote down literally everything that I wanted to accomplish that year. And surprisingly, we actually completed all of those things. And so each time I would tell her how I felt about it and that this is something I seriously wanted to do. And then we just branched off and she actually listened to me, and that's how everything became to be.
I love it. So you are an indicator of the power that we have, and our minds are very, very powerful. We can create absolutely anything, and the things that we create can be barriers, or they can be flow, like what you are doing. So that's a really important thing. So what do you think the world needs now?
Um, I think the world now definitely needs stability. Everyone to feel that they are loved, no matter who, no matter what's going on in the situation. I think we definitely need us to become like a joint union, to accept everyone's differences. And I think that by accepting everybody, then we will definitely be a stronger, more, I don't know how to say this.
Yes, you
We're
do.
a stronger world, stronger group, and we can definitely make things happen.
No, you're absolutely right. You expressed it beautifully. I don't think you ever have to say, I don't know how to say that, because you do. And the best kinds of conversation are ones that are not prepared, ones that just come from our heart and our soul. So, I mean, and that's what you do when you speak. So there's nothing stronger or more powerful than that. So what else would you like to tell people who are listening and watching you right now? What else would you like them to know about you, to know about your goals, to know what you've seen in the world, to know anything that you want to communicate?
Well, I would lastly say I hope that you received some information from this. I hope this inspired you. And I'll definitely say shoot for the stars. You can accomplish anything as long as you put your mind to it and you show the work.
I love that. Okay, so what events do you have coming up? Where can people find you? Tell us everything.
So you can find out everything on my social media. My Instagram is Saniya Symone, which is SANIYASYMONE, and that's just one word. I'm on Facebook, Saniya Symone. Everything is Saniya Symone. My website is www.saniyasimone.com, and that's where most of my, all of my events are posted.
Cool. So what events do you have coming up right now?
I honestly do not know. My mind is just blown. I'm literally looking at the ocean right now.
Oh, that's
So yeah.
wonderful. Is this a vacation or did you have a gig there?
So this is a vacation. I came with my pageant system. All of the winning queens, this was our gift from winning the pageant. So we're in Cabo for 4 days.
Cool. What pageant? You can't get away with that. What pageant? You got to tell us.
So the pageant system is called the Miss Ultimate Beauty of America pageant. I won the preteen title, so we're all in Cabo.
I love that. So what is it based on?
What do you mean? Like age?
Well, anything. I mean, some things, some pageants are based on beauty. Some are based on accomplishment.
Oh,
Some are.
okay. So they're based on platform, talent. I guess you could say just the kindness of your heart.
I love that there's somebody that notices that. That's so important. I think how we are with one another, how we treat one another is one of the key things to making the world that you described previously. So anything else that we need to know about you? Anything else I should ask you?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, well, that's a lot. I appreciate that. And I'm going to do a sign off after that. But I'm going to ask if you and Ebony will stay so I can speak with you afterwards, if you have time.
Okay.
Do you have time? Okay.
I think so, yes.
Okay, well, that's up to you. So thank you so much, Saniya, for being with us, for your message, for what you're doing, for the inspiration that you are for all ages, and showing us that there can be a better world. There is a definite way to change the world, and it is with the young, and you all are our hope. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, sweetie. And thank you to our viewers and listeners. I'm your host, Diane J. Shaver, and I thank you for being with us and for understanding that it just takes one person, one decision, one commitment, and you've got a world changer. And each person has that power within them to make a change, a better world for all of us. And not only that, you'll have more fun. So go ahead and do that. So in the meantime, until our next interview, please find us on Facebook, our Facebook page, which is a little different. It says interviews, transformations, interviews with people who change the world. But sign up there and add your comments. You can find us on Spotify and YouTube and Stitcher. And stay tuned to see us next time when I interview somebody else who's changing our world. Thank you.